Hey everyone, Zian over here from Nintendo Life. So here's the deal. Before we even get into it, I just need to specify. You saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you understand what this video is going to be about. But please just understand, this is a rumor or a leak, however you want to look at it, whatever your definition is, that's fine. But this is not confirmed. Nintendo hasn't come out and said that this is happening. So just let's have a chat. Let's just chat about it. Let's see what's on the table, what the possibilities are, and let's go from there. So there's a rumor that Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Now we've heard a similar story to this before in the past, where I think it was last year or the year before maybe even, that, it was last year. Yeah, it was, because we talked about the idea of Pokemon games, and then that never happened. So last year we talked about the fact that Game Boy and Game Boy Color games could be coming to Nintendo Switch Online as part of like a new service, potentially. And I even did a video talking all about, would Pokemon games come along in that service? And then that never happened. None of that ever did, because it was just a rumor. These leaks, these rumors, whatever you'd like to call them, these were all posted on 4chan. And it was brought to our attention by a Twitter user named Trash Banda Tukut. There's a T there. And basically what we can see is there is a set of, apparently there's a set of emulators that are being built or that have been built to run on Nintendo Switch. And these emulators are being made by the people that were responsible for the set of emulators that ran on the Nintendo Switch, the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, and also the people responsible for working on the emulation that ran the GameCube and Wii games in Super Mario 3D All-Stars that released, oh my gosh, was that 2 years ago? And the Game Boy Advance emulator is apparently codenamed Sloop, S-L-O-O-P, and the Game Boy emulator, which I'm assuming runs Game Boy Color games as well, is called Hiyoko, H-I-Y-O-K-O. And like I said, both of these are developed by Nintendo of Europe's NERD, Nintendo European Research and Development Team. And it's so great that the shortened version is NERD. But the interesting thing here is when we look at these screenshots that have been shared, we can see there are multiplayer instances of these games. There are ROM patches. There are different features offered. And there's a huge list of games as well. They have, very common stuff like Mario Kart, Pokemon Pinball is in there, which is really cool. Mario Bros from like the I guess that was included in like tons of different Super Mario games and Game Boy Advance. Mario 3 is in there as well. Yoshi's Island, which is kind of strange because we already have those games through the Super Nintendo app, which I know Mario 3 has a bunch of bonus content in there, different levels and things. So hopefully, if that game comes over, we'll get that content. But then there's also more niche stuff like Tactics Ogre, Knight of Lotus, Super Robot Tyson is in there. Ninja 5-0, that's like one of the rarest Game Boy Advance games. But there's also Golden Sun. Golden Sun 1 and Golden Sun The Lost Age, Mr. Driller 2. I have a huge soft spot for Mr. Driller. There's also Kuruin, which is like a little puzzle game. You fly around in this like little ship thing. And I think I'm not sure if it's an assist trophy or there's just a standard trophy, but it has some Smash Bros representation in there as well, which is cool. Some of you might know of it from that. And it appears that this leak came to us from an actual Nintendo Switch system. Now, I don't even know how that happens. Does someone working at Nintendo, someone working in the nerd department, do they get mad and then they just take the Switch home? Like they sneak it out or something like that somehow and then they leak this to the internet? How does this happen? I don't understand. There was also some footage apparently that leaked online here as well, but that got taken down and the account that those were tied to, it's no longer available. To my knowledge, that's basically all of the info we have. There's no details about like a release date. There's nothing confirming that this is really going to happen. It's more or less just kind of a look into kind of who is making this and what it, not what it would even look like, but maybe what games we'll see with it. And that's not even for sure either. Ninja 5-0 and Mr. Driller 2 could just be things that they're testing in the background. We might not actually see those games if Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color games ever actually come to Switch Online. Before we chat more about it, rumors are they're a tough thing because it's, we don't want to get your hopes up. But it also would be unfair of us to not report on this news either. We want to be able to share this with you. We want to have that conversation. So I guess from here, my question for you then would be, What do you want from Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy Color games if they do come to Switch? You know, are there certain games that you want to see, or are there games that you want to play more than others? I feel like it would be dumb to ask if you want multiplayer, but I feel like everybody would want multiplayer. But what game would you love to play if multiplayer was a thing with these classic Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on Switch? I will say, for me, one thing that has me most excited about this possibility is just being able to have these classic games readily available for everyone. In this position that, like, I personally can say firsthand that I find myself in is whenever I get to talk about a video game, I want other people to be able to go and play it easily. And I think that's when the discussion of Mother 3 comes around. Thank you, Daniel, for making this for me. When Mother 3 comes up, the reason why I want to see that game come back is just so more people can play it. And so, you know, I own lots of Game Boy Advance games already, and lots of them are getting very expensive, which is another thing when it comes to accessibility, is just being able to have these games playable wherever you are. If you have the service, that's the thing that I'm most excited about, is just people that haven't been able to play these games before in the past, or people that, you know, want to revisit them. You know, Nintendo is they're in a position right now where it's April 18th right now of the year 2022. And last year they announced the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, so there's two tiers to Switch Online now, right? There's the one where you get NES games and Super Nintendo games and you can play games online. And there's the second, the expansion pack, where you get that, but then you can also play N64, Sega Genesis games. Then you get some Mario Kart 8 and some Animal Crossing DLC currently. But I think all of you know that didn't go over well with the fan base. And Nintendo probably knows this and understands this. And I imagine sales or subscriptions or upgrade rates or whatever you want to call it, I imagine those numbers aren't as strong as Nintendo had hoped for. So maybe, you know, some of this software has been ready, has been in development for a few years, or, you know, I don't know how long it takes to make something like this, but you know, maybe Nintendo's been sitting on it and waiting to release it at the right time. We know E3 isn't happening this year, but I feel like it would be a missed opportunity for Nintendo to not do a Nintendo Direct during June or July, maybe even if they want to push it back that far. I feel like they have to do a Summer Direct. And maybe this would be a big announcement for them, another way for them to pull in those subscribers that, you know, those people that didn't want to upgrade. And maybe Nintendo's looking at this now and they're saying, you know, like, we really got to do something about Switch Online. And maybe Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games is the answer. Maybe they add that and maybe people will feel happier. So, you know, like I said, I asked that question earlier about what games, you know, what do you want from this? You know, what about this gets you excited? If you don't care about it, also just let us know. You know, we want to hear your opinions, but also I want to know if they bring these games to Nintendo Switch Online service, to the expansion pack, the $50, the US dollar tier, would that be enough for you to upgrade to the service? And other than that, I don't really think there's a whole lot to be said about it right now. There are plenty of games we could talk about, and maybe we will do a video where we go and talk about games that we would love to see come to the service. You know, I think that would be just a fun topic to have. But for now, we just kind of get to sit back, speculate, eat some popcorn, and just enjoy the thought that Game Boy games, once again, Game Boy Color, but then also maybe Game Boy Advance games are coming to Switch. Now, I already asked you a million times, but let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you go ahead and open that subscribe button in your Game Boy Advance. I bet there's someone out there that has figured out a way to run a web browser on a Game Boy Advance and click a subscribe button. You don't have to jump through that many hoops, but if you did, please let us know. That'd be pretty sick. And while you're there, while you are on viewing the video on your Game Boy Advance, why don't you ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up a new video so you don't miss out on news like this. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.